Have you ever met someone who just has this effortless edge? They're calm when everyone else is freaking out, and people just seem to gravitate towards them. Well, I'm here to tell you it's not magic. It's actually physiology. Today, we are diving deep into how mastering your internal state can give you a serious, and I mean serious, advantage in the outside world.
So let's kick things off with this idea I love called social gravity. Think about it. It's the concept that your internal state, something totally invisible, is constantly sending out a signal. And that signal has a very real, very tangible effect on how people react to you. It's either pulling them closer or, well, pushing them away. And this right here shows you exactly what I mean. We're looking at something called heart rate variability, or HRV. It's just a simple measure of the tiny variations in time between your heartbeats. Now look at the left side. When that pattern is smooth and coherent, you're basically broadcasting calm. That's your social gravity working for you. But on the right, when it's scattered and chaotic, it acts like a repellent. It puts people on edge, and they don't even know why. It's all happening on a subconscious biological level. And look, this isn't just some nice sounding metaphor. It is backed by hard, measurable science. Which brings us to the coherence advantage, the real data, the physiology that proves just how powerful maintaining a calm, coherent internal state really is. Okay, so what's the actual benefit for you? For starters, resilience. A lot of it. Research shows that people with high HRV bounce back from stressful events a whopping 37% faster. Just imagine you get some bad news at work. This is the difference between your whole day being shot versus you being able to think clearly and actually solve the problem right then and there. And here's where it gets really interesting. This effect, it ripples out from you. Your coherence doesn't just help you, it literally changes the environment for your team. Studies have found that teams led by coherent leaders have 44% less cortisol, that's the main stress hormone, when they're under intense pressure. Your calm literally becomes their calm. It's contagious. All right, so we've covered the why. We know why this stuff matters. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty of what it actually is. We're going to look at these two internal operating systems side by side, what it means to be coherent versus what it means to be scattered. So this really is the million-dollar question, right? Forget the science for a second. On a day-to-day basis, what does this feel like? What is the actual real-world difference between operating in a coherent state versus being stuck in a scattered one? Okay, let's break this down. When you're in that coherent state, for you, it feels like laser focus, total clarity. And what's wild is that this activates something called mirror neurons in other people's brains, which makes them feel calm and focused too. But when you're in that scattered state, you get brain fog. You can't think straight. And that triggers the amygdala, the brain's little alarm system, in everyone around you. You're literally making them feel more tense and defensive just by being in the room. No, here comes the best part. I promise. This is not some fixed trait that you're just born with. You can absolutely train it. So now we're going to move from theory to practice. I'm going to give you a super simple, totally actionable plan to boost your baseline HRV in just 1 week. Here's the whole routine. It's so simple. First thing in the morning, 5 minutes of what's called coherence breathing. That's just a 5-second inhale, 5-second exhale. Easy. Do it with a hand on your heart to really set your rhythm for the day. Then, before you eat, a quick 90-second rescue breath to calm your system down. And finally, before bed, 2 minutes of a low VU hum. It sounds a little funny, but that humming sound is amazing for stimulating your vagus nerve, which is like the master regulator of your nervous system. And you're not just going to take my word for it. To know this is really working, you've got to track it. You can grab a free app, something like Elite HRV, and just measure your resting HRV every morning. The goal here is simple, it's tangible. We're looking for a 5% increase in your baseline by the end of the week. That's how you'll know, that's your proof. So let's tie this all together with a final, really powerful idea. I want you to stop thinking of your internal state, your coherence, as just a feeling. Start thinking of it as a resource. It is your influence currency. It's the currency you bring to every single meeting, every conversation, and every relationship you have. Your heart rate variability, it's not just some number on a health app. It is, quite literally, the currency you use to influence the world around you. Every single day, you're either earning more of it, saving it, or you're spending it. The whole game is about learning to spend it wisely. So, now you know. You've got the science and you've got the tools. The only question left is the one that really matters. How are you going to spend your currency?